Welcome to JG's Fight Night, and we've got Fight 3. And we've got Ender the Lion joining us. Ender, just before we start, where can people find you?
They can find me on Twitter at EFBman, and if you can't find me, you're blocked because I don't like you.
This is going to be a long night, but, you know, it's lovely to have you on, mate, honestly, as always.
Cheers, appreciate it.
I love your company.
You're a good guy. Again, as I said, you're the Spencer, and I fancy myself as a bit of a what's his name?
Johnny Nelson.
Not Johnny Nelson, the big lad, Bunsey. The number one guy when it comes to British black boxing. Not David Hay, the black boxer, but the white old middle-aged man. What is the white old middle-aged man? What? Oh, I love Steve Bunce, but it was pure cringe. That whole clip was pure cringe.
So, anyway.
Back to the boxing.
On to the boxing. We've got Robbie Davies Jr. versus Gabriel Valenzuela. And it's going for the Intercontinental Super Lightweight title.
Well, Joel, you know as well as I do, I don't even bother with titles anymore.
Just so you know,
titles now. I think I won a world title just by putting on a pair of gloves once.
It is a bit mental, isn't it?
It's stupid.
When you look at stuff, how many belts there are kicking around now is, you know, you used to have one world champion. Now you've got.
Well, there's only one belt.
You've got all sorts of things, haven't you?
There's only one belt I recognise, and that's the ring belt. And my good friends at Ring Magazine, actually, so Eddie Fisher. But yeah, should be a good fight. So just ignore the belts is what I say. Look at the fighters, not the belts.
Well, and we're kind of seeing that, aren't we? In the sort of build up to the Tyson Fury AJ, they said actually we're bigger than the belts going into this fight.
They are. That's the whole point of it. I mean, Fury had no belts. Fury had no belts, but was the lineal champion by default because he disappeared for a while because Wilder knocked on the door, and you know yourself.
But it all comes down to legacy, isn't it? Which I think
Like in 20 years' time, nobody's going to be talking about, you know, the interim WBO kind of heavyweight champion, whoever he was. But they will be talking about Tyson Fury. Now, well, I mean, the only thing is the other chap, his name's just gone straight on my head. Links effect guy, Anthony Joshua flopped in America because he failed his first fight, so he's a nobody there still. Anyway, this fight's kicking off.
Well, let's see how it goes. 10 rounds of boxing, as we say, super lightweight.
Yeah, I like the lighter weights because they're sharp and they're more technical, you know.
Yeah, and to be fair, as time's gone on, the power's gone up a level, I think.
Oh, yeah. But my favorite weight was always super middleweight because you had the big power, but you also had the skill. You know, I mean, I'm talking about, you know,
some real great boxing in
McClellan and Ben and Eubank, Anthony Watson, and then Steve Collins later, and obviously Joe Calzaghe afterwards.
Well, as we say, we got Robbie Davies Jr. with the black with the orange trim. They actually look quite cool. And
I'd actually
shorts with a slight gold, I think, gold trim.
Yeah, I've a huge issue here. If I was the guy in charge of this fight, I'd said no. You both can't wear black shorts because there's nothing to distinguish those guys. You know, they're both white and they're both wearing black shorts.
Oh, hang on, time out here. Venezuela was throwing punches even though the ref stopped it.
Yeah,
calm down.
That happens in boxing.
First round.
I wouldn't say it was too malicious, to be fair.
No.
He's just pent up fight energy.
First round, they come out, don't they? They want to stamp their mark.
Exactly. But
both sort of, you know, feeling their way around, aren't they?
The guy in gold looks like he's got a lot of power behind his punches. The gold gloves. Who's he?
So that's Venezuela. Gabriel Venezuela.
Oh, that was a nice slap in the face.
Cool, yeah.
You
That sent
slag!
places, didn't it?
Get out of my pub!
If that didn't wake him up to get in the fight, I don't know.
Oh, another one. I'm liking Venezuela. I want. Oh, there's three big punches. I'm scoring these. Bing, bing, bing.
He's got some big punches there, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean they're going on my scorecard. I mean they're the fights. They're the punches judges love to see. And actually, Orange is after getting one himself there. But big scoring shots, straight right. Oh, another wonderful straight.
Cool.
This is a ding dong. I'm enjoying this fight.
He's throwing them straight down the pipe.
Oh yeah, but I mean, like as an amateur judge, we were, we always said to the boys, straight and clean, make it seen, can't be missed.
Yeah. He's got very good, very good ability, isn't he? You can see
his skills are top notch. Like, I mean, they caught him lovely again there. Jesus, Orange is a sitting duck.
I think the way the first round's gone, I'd give that Venezuela, wouldn't you?
Oh God Almighty, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the chap in Orange? What's his name? Sorry.
So that's Davies Jr.
Davies Jr. needs to keep his guard up. He's using your head as a defense is not a good strategy.
No, especially when the other guy's throwing some really hard punches into your face.
Oh yeah, but straight down the pipe. It's what you love to see, and that's the kind of boxing I, as a judge, always loved. Clean, crisp shots. Pick your punch. You rock his head back. You're scoring, and he knocked back Davies Jr.'s head back a good few times there. So,
we've got a comment in already from Vortex Lee. Thanks for coming on. Who you think got this one?
Well, first round had to go to Venezuela for me.
Yeah.
I know Davies Jr. did score one or twice, but the real absolute skill shots, the power punches, as they would say on the stateside channels, were definitely with Venezuela.
Definitely straight down the barrel, really, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Drain pipe shots. It's what you love to see as a judge.
So just going into round two, Davies
I'm
Jr.
just going to refer to these as gold and black.
He's got to set his feet, hasn't he, Davies Jr.? Because he was getting caught quite a bit in that first round.
Oh, and he's got caught again there. It was a left hook.
Yeah.
But in fairness to Davies Jr., he's not blinking like. He's just walking straight through them. But as the fight goes on,
good. Switching to southpaw occasionally as well.
Yeah, but he got caught there by switching to southpaw.
The backside, isn't it?
He got caught switching to southpaw there because your man just straight right there, and it got it. Because you leave your right side wide open when you go southpaw.
Yeah.
Davies is busier in this round, but I'm still giving the scoring shots to Venezuela.
Yeah, no, he's Davies Jr.'s getting a bit more.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, bloody hell.
What a right hook.
What a shot. What a shot that was. And that,
I have to say,
to be fair, the ropes kept him there.
They did, but fair play to Davies for staying in this.
Straight back in. That was a hell of a punch, though. Hell of a punch.
But he can take anything. So, I mean, what's this, 10 rounds? If this guy gasses out Davies, there's every chance in the latter rounds. If he can stay, he got caught again. He really should learn how to keep his gloves up.
I'll tell you, the right hands of Venezuela are getting through too easy.
Oh, they're wonderful scoring power punches every time.
Yeah. Currently,
and for him to switch to southpaw against an orthodox fighter,
asking for trouble. This is 2 rounds Venezuela if this doesn't change.
Yeah, and I mean, now we can see that Davies is holding on now, obviously, because he's been punched like a rag doll.
Oh, there's been some heavy punches in there.
Yeah, because I was giving him credit for taking them, and let's face it, not many men would.
But you can only take that for so long.
Oh yeah, it should. But obviously, the one that rocked him on the ropes was the real thing.
But if you look back to the Fisher fight that we just watched, which is also available on this channel, by the way, if you did you like that?
I see what you did there.
Hey,
coming up next on Joel Sports. Don't forget subscribe.
Yeah, Well, yeah, do that anyway. Subscribe, like, it's all there. It's all there. But
Another
it was
rocking one. But he got
exactly
caught himself. Venezuela got caught
the
there.
same as the Johnny Fisher punch. He literally ruled. But,
Yeah, but that was a different standard. Like, I mean, in
I
fairness,
would have to say Venezuela's got that again.
I give it to Venezuela. But, well, Venezuela had to get it. I mean, he scored a knockdown apart from the ropes.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't give it 10-8 though. I would still go 10-9. So at the moment it's 2018 to Venezuela, and fair play to Johnny for staying in the fight. Really.
Yeah. Well, we're going to quickly tell you what the program's all about. Hey, it just comes up on the screen. Just comes up on the screen.
What comes up on the screen?
You just saw. Welcome to JG's Fight Talk.
Oh, I went into the comments there while that.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Well, as I say,
round 3 now.
JG's Fight Talk, sponsored by Rich's Boxing, sponsored by Boxing Pin Badges. On Twitter, give them a follow, give them a like, and have a look because there's some great stuff on there.
Yeah, always nice to have the memorabilia. When I go to a lot of sporting events, and what I always like to do is pick up a pin of the events, and you kind of have them as memento. Programs as well, but programs are becoming less common. You can't get programs on the continent anymore.
You were having a search around at home the other day, weren't you, and found a cracking T-shirt of Mayweather Hatton, wasn't it?
Yes, if you like, I'll get that out for the next round.
Go for it.
Because, I mean, I don't know what France Rugby has got to do with this fight, but I'll definitely... Why didn't I think of the Mayweather T-shirt, And I was in Vegas for that, and it was a great fight. It was a great weekend. My favourite thing was me collecting all my money when Mayweather knocked him out, bang, against the stanchion in was it the 9th round?
Yeah, I think it was. It was.
And I was there, and
he just literally picked him apart.
Hatton he did.
He just couldn't get in it, which was a shame because Ricky.
Yeah, but I mean, Hatton is your everyman fighter, and that's how he was.
Sort of the working man's.
Working man's hero, and I mean, my dad loved Ricky Hatton, and
we've got Campbell Hatton in a couple of weeks.
I know.
I mean, looking forward to that.
That's the legacy, I mean, fair play to Campbell Hatton, because it must be difficult for these fighters coming up, but it shows my age now when the fighters I watch now, their kids are fighting.
And you're like, you think you've got Campbell Hatton, you've got Conor Ben, you've got
Costazoo's kid.
Yeah,
Costazoo's kids fighting down in Australia against
it's in March, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's taken on what's his name, the really good Australian guy. So he's obviously further on than the English guys. But Costazoo was a wonderful fighter, and fair play to Hatton. I mean, that was his biggest fight ever.
That was the crowning glory for him, really, wasn't it?
I mean, for Costazoo not to come out. Was it not come out in the 11th? It was some achievement for Hatton. It won Fight of the Year, I think, or no, it won him Fighter of the Year with Ring Magazine. It wasn't Fight of the Year, but he won him Fighter of the Year. Anyway, back to this fight.
Yeah, into round 3. We've got about 25 seconds left. It's
absolute cracker! I'm loving Venezuela.
He's down. Davies Jr. is down. Count's going.
Fair play to Davies Jr. though for taking this punishment.
Took that one well. That was a hell of a punch.
I think the bell's going to save him in this round, and he seemed stumble back to his. A clear 10-8. So now we're up to what is it? 30-26. Yes.
Yeah, we're giving the first 3 rounds to Venezuela.
Venezuela won that clearly by a knockdown. So
to be fair, he's a tough lad. Very tough lad.
He is. And on that note, I'm just going to disappear and come back with a change of clothes. I'll be like that Oscar night, when the hosts go off and come back in a different dress. Put on a little jingle so I can leave.
You want the? You're all right.
I'm going to chip up now, and you're going to see it live on camera or something. Told you.
Well, as I say, we're just about to go into round 4. First 3 rounds, Venezuela knockdown in the 3rd round. Hell of a, I think it was a right hook. Hell of a shot. So yeah, Davies Jr.'s got a lot of work to do. This guy's really come to fight, and he is fighting well. Got hell of a power in his punches. But yeah, just holding the centre of the ring and working Davies Jr., making it hard work for him. Davies Jr. is switching southpaw, but yeah, he's got to sort of, I think, got to start looking at a game plan and seeing what else he can implement into this fight, because at the moment it's not working. Yeah, tough fight. Yeah. Timeout. Ref is turning around. He's saying, look, you can't punch him. When I've said stop the fight a minute, he's thrown another punch in. Venezuela's got to start listening, or I think a point's going to go. The ref literally spun him round and said, can you understand me? It's that could come down to that, where discipline could be the thing that actually loses the fight in the long run if he's not careful. So that's sort of the 2nd or 3rd time that the refs had to step in there and say, look, just keep this clean.
Right, I can't find that jersey. So I got the next best thing, Eurovision in London. Or in Lisbon, London. Sure, when was the last time the UK won Eurovision? 1996 in Dublin. Katrina and the Waves. Love Shine a Light.
I don't know if you saw Ender. The ref literally pulled up Venezuela, and he took a shot at him when the ref said break. So he's had another word with him, which is about the 2nd or 3rd time, isn't it? So
has he had a point deducted though?
Not yet, but I think it's getting close now. The ref literally spun him round because the fighter walked away from him, and he spun him round and he said, "Do you understand me?" So he's losing his patience now, I think. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one, I think.
Yeah, they're doing what they can for the home fighter.
but to be fair, Davies Jr. in this round still hasn't really.
Sure, look, he's just hitting his head at will. I mean, his head rocks, and that's that's what you look for. If you move the head, that's a scoring punch.
I think, to be fair, like you were saying, Ender, we've got to.
He's taking a point off now.
4 rounds. 1 point. So that's Robbie's round, wouldn't you say?
Well, it's a draw.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Robbie's done enough to win it, but it's a draw.
Yeah.
So I would score that 10-10 or 9-9. Actually, I think it would be.
I suppose it would be 9-9, wouldn't it?
Well, in pro, in amateur, it would be 10-10, but in pro, I think it is 9-9.
It's not looking good though. Let's be honest.
I think the referee is doing Johnny favors there. He is punching after the bell, but I mean, I've seen a lot worse, and referees let it slide. Obviously, I think he's protecting Johnny. To be fair,
yeah, Johnny, 100%. I think after that punch where he reeled onto the ropes, I think you've got to look at that, and you've got to think if that was centre of the ring, we'd be 2 knockdowns here.
Well, he wouldn't have got back up. We'd be fight over. Oh, sorry, 2 knockdowns. Yeah, sorry, 2 KOs. Yeah. See, a knockdown is where they're not counted out, and a knockout is where they're gone. So that's why I when you said 2 knockdowns, no, it's just vernacular. It's just why I read that differently to what you were implying. Sorry.
So we're round 5. The last one, we'll say, was a draw based on point deduction for Venezuela. But we're now in round 5. Robbie's got a switch up a gear
So
here.
what is
Really,
it? 49, 45, 44?
it's yeah. It's drifting, isn't it? It's drifting.
Yeah, it's getting
And I
beyond
think it's those early rounds, isn't it? As you know, Endo, it's those early rounds
Oh,
where
now in fairness to the referee, he's not. But I think what the referee's doing there, he's giving the guy a breather. He's a very clever referee. This ref, he just
yeah,
doesn't want that boxer taking too much punishment, so he's breaking them and he's stopping the fight to allow the guy to just because I think Davies is a very brave man, but he needs protecting as well, and that's a referee's job.
cool.
The first
It's
duty of a referee is the duty of care to the boxers, and I think that referee's had a great job in there protecting Davies from his own kind of
100%.
bravery, because he is very brave. But I mean,
But he's getting caught
you
easily.
can't stop punches with your face.
Yeah, he's being caught easily, and
Yeah.
there's going to be enough where the corner's got to start looking, and also
Mm.
the ref's going to start saying, right,
Yeah.
he's taking a lot of blows here without reply because
Yeah. Well, we're not at that stage yet because, in fairness to Johnny, he is pushing back, but the referee's just making sure that he's not taking cruel and unusual punishment.
yeah. I don't know if you saw in the Gill fight, Gill got put in the corner and he had about 25 punches thrown at him with no reply. You've got to watch it back seriously. How I've seen refs turn around and say, "That's it."
Well, it
Because
all depends. And again, to quote Mr. Wenger, I did not see the incident. I could not comment. But I mean, if the guy is tucked in and he's okay and he's throwing the jabs, that's fine. If he's just getting battered
but there
and
was
losing
none
his
of that.
balance,
He was getting head, body, and there was no reply in about, it must have been about 24, 25 punches, and he was in the corner.
But did the boxer look in trouble?
He looked like he didn't have anything to throw. He didn't have any answers to the questions that were coming at him. Do you know what I mean?
At amateur level, that would be stopping the fight. But at pro level, if he's not in trouble, you just
at the end of the day, it's rest discretion, isn't it? And this
it is. But I mean, like, if the fighter's not in trouble, you don't intervene. I mean, you're not there to fight the boxer's fight. Like, if he's in the corner, tucked in, and he's taking those punches, not showing any signs of kind of danger or hurt, then
good shot.
But fair play to Fisher now for staying in this.
Yeah, Davies' face is looking very bloody now, though. It's looking.
Has Davies got anything to do with Fisher, or where did I pull Fisher out of?
The last fight.
Oh, great. I've turned into that commentator half an hour and calling the last one. Oh, I tell you, you turn 40 and your memory's just gone.
Well, what did you think of that one? I thought actually Davies boxed quite well.
I thought Davies boxed well, and if I was giving any round to Davies, I'd give him that one.
I was going to go draw.
Well, no, but as a judge, you have, I mean, the guy's been doing stuff all the fight, and if I'm going to give I don't give even rounds, and on the basis that this guy's going to win every other round and Davies deserves something, I give that round to Davies. That's my boxing judge logic in my brain. Like, if there's two close rounds, I don't give it to the same fighter. I give one fighter one round and one fighter the next one. This idea, well, every round was close and it ends up being a landslide. Well, that's not proper judging.
Well,
because
Avanesium has just turned up, which is always good because the fight has been delayed 3 times. So
I'm really looking forward to this now because Kelly is a bit of a
scrap. It's going to be a good boxing.
But Kelly's a bit of a showman and he fancies himself, Wasn't it PBK, Pretty Boy Kelly?
Yeah. We'll talk about it after this round.
We will. Oh, that was nice from
Venezuela.
No.
I think Venezuela.
I was going to say Fisher, but his name's not Fisher.
It's Davies Jr.
Davies Jr. threw a nice left hook there at the end of that.
The thing is, though, Venezuela's he keeps on pressing, doesn't he? Is that typical?
But if you look now, Venezuela's tiring.
And he's just pushing and pushing and pushing the whole time, isn't he? He doesn't give you a chance to breathe. As we saw in the first fight, they just keep coming, don't they? They're a different breed of fighter, and they just keep
but if
coming.
you do look now, he's fighting a different fight now. He's on the gas. He's a lot slower in this round. He's the one kind of more. Look at him holding more, and clinching more. So he's obviously.
You think 6th round in. Don't take your foot off the pedal, but at the same time,
yeah. But I mean, he can't go full bull.
Take a round, have a breather if you can.
Yeah.
And then push on again. But don't take your foot off the pedal. We've seen it so many times before, haven't we? Where people take the foot off because they think I've got a good lead.
Oh yes, that's excellent there from Orange.
Yeah, good shot, Orange. Davies Jr. Just say Junior. I'll stick with Junior. You'll be all right. Or DJ. Call him DJ.
Hey DJ. Hey DJ, gonna play that song because I want to be dancing all night long. Bet you weren't expecting that.
I was, to be fair, knowing you.
Actually, yeah. you were expecting a little earlier in the contest. It took to round 6 of the second fight.
I was going to say, it's taken this long, but, it's all good.
No, I think DJ's winning this round for me.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's starting to turn it.
Yeah, and I did say that if he can win, but he got caught there.
Cool, yeah, that was. I'll tell you, he takes a punch though.
He really does.
He's got a hell of a chin, isn't he?
Oh my God! I mean, we're talking Wayne McCullough level chin here.
Where you look at Valenzuela, really, the chin hasn't been tested greatly yet. It might be in the later rounds. If it goes to the later rounds, where you might see.
Well, I think Valenzuela, if he's not gassed, if he's just taking this round off, fair enough. But if he's tired now because he's burnt out, that's a DJ round.
Yeah, definitely.
A clear DJ round for me.
So to be fair, if you're just tuning in, thank you for coming along. It's JG's Fight Talk. As always, we're here. Watch along live on the card of David Evanesian and Josh Kelly. And
Josh Pretty Boy Kelly.
What a card so far.
It really has. I've really enjoyed this.
I've really enjoyed it.
And if one thing, in fairness, Eddie Hearn, he's a bit of a, but I mean, he does give good cards.
Yeah. I think when you look at the card last week, it was the main event that people were really looking forward to be honest.
Yeah, but that's the point. When it isn't a huge main event, it's always a better card. Because the main event sells the show, you don't need extra.
But you look at this card, top to bottom, has got some great fights on it.
This is the card I'd go to, not the previous one.
100%. And as we saw last week, the crowds, in my opinion, played a massive part for Josh Warrington. He was.
But I mean, Josh thrives off that. But Josh, I think, he's just been out for so long, and I think he underestimated.
Over a year, wasn't it? It was over a year. So.
It was well over a year, And I mean, he'd been in wars with the chap from Northern Ireland.
Carl Frampton.
Carl Frampton, I mean, that was a war and a half.
And they didn't stop, did they? To be fair, that was a hell of a
rock'em sock'em. They stood in the middle of the grab and said, "I punch you, now you punch me."
If you want to watch,
I can't do the Yorkshire accent. Right, I'm gonna punch you back. I can't do Yorkshire.
If you want to watch a Warrington fight, that's probably the fight to watch for action from start to finish. The two of them literally exchanged leather the whole time. And to be fair, Warrington was
Mm.
fantastic. There's no doubt. He's a hell of a boxer, but I just think
he has a chin.
The atmosphere, that shot as well by Lara just shook him, didn't it? Shook him to the boots, to be fair.
Oh, absolutely.
And what was that, the fourth round? And he kept going, to his credit.
To his credit, but I mean, that's just a lack of being in the ring. But as everybody knows, and as I said, if you're protecting an O, then you fought nobody. It's not getting knocked down that stops you. It's not getting back up. The best boxers have all lost fights. I mean, the only one that didn't was obviously Joe Kazagi, who fought some very ropey opposition. I mean, Lacey was his legacy fight because he was expected to lose it and he won it. But I mean, there was so much dross on his record that you could just write off prior to Lacey fight. And then fighting Roy Jones after the fact was neither here nor there.
Well, I think that was just having the name on there, wasn't it? Basically.
Yeah, but I mean, like it was like when
God, Davies Jr.'s taking some punches again here, but he's giving them back.
Yeah.
If you're just joining us, 7th round.
This is a cracking fight, lads.
Yeah. It's a very interesting one as well because coming into this fight.
This actually has memories of Warrington.
I have to say these two, but Davies Jr.'s chin.
Oh, it's granite.
He is now, I would say, matching Valenzuela punch for punch, really.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
The case of how many more can you take is going to be the question, isn't it? Because he took a lot in those early rounds, a lot.
Yeah. And his knockdown was negated by the warning that Valenzuela got, so he gets away with that. If he can win the rest of the rounds, and I give this to JR or DJ again. So JR is Junior. Shut up.
I'll take that. Well, next up, obviously, we'll be joining we'll come out of the stream when this fight's finished, and we'll go back into another stream, which is Florian Marcoux versus Ryland Charlton. Which, to be fair, other than the main event, this is probably the fight to watch because it's going to be a corker, isn't it?
The guy off X Factor in the supermarket sweep.
No, Florian Marcoux and Ryland Charlton. Not
different Ryland then.
Not Ryland Clark.
Oh, I'd love that now. Ryland Clark versus a top quality boxer. Oh my God.
Yeah.
When you hear the beep, that's the fucking ambulance coming for Ryland. I know, I love Ryland. Ryland's a great TV personality, to be fair to him.
Oh, I've met him. He's a top bloke.
No, but I mean, what an absolute punch from Davies.
I was going to say,
that was sweet. Did you see that left hook?
When he took the punch from Valenzuela and delivered that, he's coming back. He's really coming back in this fight.
Up there with Warrington Frampton.
I would say this is probably, apart from, we love seeing Johnny Fisher. That was a fantastic first
one. Johnny's brand new and he's starting.
This is a real slug, these two. They're really great.
Like, I mean, oh my God, DJ deserves all the credit.
This could literally
he weathered such an attack at the start.
If you think during this fight, Ender, we first 3 rounds we go to Valenzuela, draw for the 4th round.
Only because
of the point deduction, and then basically Davies Jr. has stolen 5 and 6 and 7, which is remarkable.
Now this round's a lot more even at the moment for me. Nobody has claimed it yet.
We've got a minute and a half to go, so it's
but you know what I mean. There's give and take. Nobody's dominated the round yet.
Yeah.
Some cracking punches. My old man would love this fight.
To keep up that level shows the real grit and fitness of these fighters.
Oh, and look, he just gave him a few shots to his chin there.
That was nice.
They weren't as powerful as Venezuela.
I'd say if you're looking at accuracy, I think you've got to go Davies Jr. in this round. I think he's been very accurate.
Well, Davies Jr. is definitely the more accurate. But then look, Valenzuela then with the with the drain pipe punches again.
And he's pushing the fight, isn't he? He's forcing the fight.
Oh, caught on the ropes now. You may have spoken too soon, giving.
I think judge's curse there. I think, wasn't it?
Commentator's curse.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's what I meant. I'm sorry, I'm wrapped up in the moment here. I am absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just having to climb out of my hole by calling the boxer by the previous boxer's name. So don't mind me. Scarlet for me.
You've called him Fisher. You've called him JR.
You said I could call him JR.
I said DJ. But do you know what? I know exactly who you're talking about.
He's got an R on his shorts as well.
Yeah, you can have that. I'll let you have that.
I mean, Sammy Davies Jr. Why don't they think of that?
at this.
Right. Who are you giving that round to?
We've got a comment in. When in doubt, wing it. Love it. Great name. Thanks for coming on. Florian Marcoux versus Ryland Charlton. Who wins, boys? Well,
it's a 50-50 for me.
To me, it's an absolute corker. It's not going the distance. It's not going the distance. These are two guys that are going to meet in the centre, and it's going to be a case of the first guy that backs up, I think, is going to be the one that's just going to be charged down and knocked out. I think they're just going to meet in the middle and go for it. In my opinion, and this is my opinion, I know, Ender's saying it's a 50-50, but in my opinion, I can see a Charlton knockout. I really can.
Well, I mean, if he gets a knockout, then it's over. But points win prizes.
I think it's going to be a Charlton knockout. As I say, let us know what you think.
Sorry,
Ender, what do you think? What are you going with for the next fight?
Well, again, I think I'm going to have to watch it to see. I don't have a favourite going into it. This fight, however, who did you give the 8th round to?
To be fair, I know you said you don't give draws, but I think that was a draw.
I think that round was a draw. If I had to give it to a fighter, I would give it to Valenzuela, because I gave Jones an earlier round. When it was a 10-10.
Oh, hang on. His shoelaces come undone.
Oh, well, that's a good break. But no, on the basis I gave the previous drawn round. Good. Sorry?
Very good. There's been a couple of times where he's had the break. He's managed to get a little break in there, which has probably been hey, look. We've got Albert JTV. Nice to see you, Albert. Good evening, lads. Keep up the fantastic work, Joel. Thank you very much. It's just as good as
Sing me a song, yellow piano man.
It's good
Sing me a song tonight.
On here because A, he's entertainment. B, I'm not talking to myself, and C, it's just a top bloke. So
I am not a top bloke. I am an absolute wanker. Joel is the best guy in the world.
But I have to say,
seriously, Albert, I'm an antagonistic prick. My teacher said, Andy, you'd argue with two flies going up a wall. I said, Miss, I think you've mixed up your metaphors. I got suspended.
But as I say, thanks for tuning in, Albert. Absolute diamond. Absolute diamond. And then my wife has tuned in, which is lovely. He's nice, that Albert. I haven't actually had a compliment myself yet. Ender's had one. David Hayes had one. Albert's had one. And I haven't. So
she's been googling Canelo Alvarez since. He's one sexy beast.
She's been googling over David Hay for years.
Yeah, but once she sees Canelo Alvarez, whoa.
Albert thinks she's a celebrity. Well, there you go. It's only because she jumps into our live streams. That's all she does, doesn't she?
Yeah. She's like the mother in Gavin and Stacey. Oh my Christ! What's her name? Pam, the Essex housewife.
Well, 40 seconds left of round 9. It's a very close round.
It's a humdinger. It's another close round, and Davies I'm going to go with.
He's got to be careful. He keeps hitting in the back of the head. You don't want to lose a point in this.
Because if you lose a point, that's.
To be fair, I think it'd be game over, Ender. Unless he got a knockout in the 10th, I think it'd be game over if he lost a point in this round. I think
Valenzuela.
No, Davies Jr. I think he's still really chasing this.
Well, I mean, what's the score? What score have we?
But then, if you look at the rounds that we put a draw on.
Well, I didn't put any round draw. I think you'll find that's legal tender. I think you'll find I didn't score any round draw. Yeah, I gave Ryland. I gave
round 4. You gave a draw because
I didn't. I said it would be a draw, but because I don't give a draw, I'm going to give it to. Oh, sorry, but that wasn't a draw. The referee made the round a draw. I didn't. I gave Venezuela that round. The referee balanced it off.
No. Round 4 was the one where he had the point deducted.
Yeah, so it wasn't a draw. Referee took off a point, made it 9-9.
Right.
It wasn't 10-8. So I'm still sticking with not a draw. The next round I gave to DJ
Venezuela,
because
didn't you gave
he
it
was
to Venezuela
busier.
round 8.
And then I gave Venezuela the round 8 because...
So what about 9 then?
I'm going to say Venezuela for the cleaner punches.
Yeah.
And DJ got a caution from the referee.
So we're going in round 10.
What's the score then?
Round 10. Well, Venezuela's winning on the cards.
By much?
Well, he took the first 3 with a knockdown as well, wasn't it?
No, he didn't knock him down off the ropes. But we did give it 10-8, didn't we, for round 2, was it?
Yeah, it was round 2 or 3, wasn't it? There was yeah. And then the 4th was the 9-all. 5 was
I gave to
Davies Jr.
DJ.
6 was Davies Jr. 7 was Davies Jr. 8 you gave Venezuela. 9
because it was
Venezuela.
a draw and I flipped it over.
10 at the moment. Venezuela heading into it. Davies Jr. needs something special to short of
how many points? How many points have I him up? Can you not add?
No, not really.
Where's the wife?
She's in the other room, but she's currently in here as well. She's put. I do worry about their poor heads. Well,
Rachel, that's what happens when you become a boxer.
Moving on. When in doubt, wing it. Love your banter, boys. Thank you, mate.
You're welcome.
You haven't actually told us yet what you think of Marku versus Charlton, what you think the outcome will be. As I say, at the end of this one, we will come out of this and then we'll come back into it, whether it's me on my own or whether I've got Ender with me.
You're ditching me. Excuse me.
I'm not.
Bringing the comments. Oh, fine. I'm going to set up my own channel called Ender's Banterland. And I'm going to find an even better looking Essex boy to sit beside me, not be able to do maths, and have a good looking wife. And
all I'm going to say is good luck.
Oh, find someone better looking than you in Essex.
Finding someone that can do maths.
In Essex.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's true. Actually,
all I will say is we'll be back.
You'll be back soon. You'll see. You'll remember you belong to me.
Hang on a minute. We'll come out of this one. And then
I'm quoting Hamilton now.
We'll come back in for the next fight.
This is an absolute cracker. Yes. Oh my God, Venezuela is losing his head like a punch.
Like he's absolutely battering
him. It's a pinata. Fair play though to DJ for staying here, but his head's a pinata in this round.
To be fair, it's awful, isn't it? It is awful.
It's awful, really, but you can't take your eyes off it. It's like a car crash.
I'm surprised.
Something inside so strong. I know the DJ can make it.
He's really taking these punches though.
For him to lose this fight, he deserves huge respect.
Oh, 100%. But 10 seconds to go.
Oh, fair play, guys. Cracking fight. Absolutely cracking fight. It will take something to beat that as fight of the night. I mean, Venezuela has won it clearly on the scorecards.
100%. We've come to the end of the Intercontinental super lightweight.
Doesn't matter. I told you, titles don't matter.
Let's be honest. I think we've got to say that was a Venezuela fight.
Venezuela by 3 clear rounds, I'd say.
Incredible bravery by Davies Jr. He really, when it got to the 5th round, he really started digging in and giving something back for sort of.
Yeah, but I think Venezuela did do. He's a clever boxer. He did take the rounds off because I thought he was tiring, but clearly he wasn't because all that energy came out in 11 and 12.
When in doubt, wing it. I'm going for Florian, boys. Well, yeah. As I say, like Ender was saying, it could be one of those fights that goes either way. It is literally going to meet toe to toe, and they're going to go at it. He's been funny all week, Marku. Marku's been a funny one all week, hasn't he? He's been eyeballing him.
Fuego.
Just to follow on for Ender's performance there, he said, please don't sing, mate.
I can't make any promises I can't keep.
Especially as you're wearing a Eurovision t-shirt.
Yeah. Euphoria, I'll be there till the end of time. That's Denmark, right? No, that's Sweden.
But
Kessler. was Danish, wasn't he? Yeah.
At the end of this one,
End is getting sacked for singing.
Ender,
If you want Ender to stay on the channel, fill the comments full of keep Ender on the channel. Just because you're pretty doesn't mean you win.
How do you look at this one with the judges then, Ender? Let's go.
Well, if they don't give to Valenzuela, then or more like here.
Yeah, it's, to be fair, Valenzuela very, very precision punches. Got the knockdown in the third. He had him reeling with one of them, which was an absolute power shot, wasn't it?
It was wonderful. But fair play to Davies Jr. for sticking that.
What a fight. I think they were both
that was fight of the night for me.
Yeah. I think that's going to be honest.
The fight's more fun with the sound off.
I think that's going to be that's going to be a fight to beat tonight.
Oh, I don't think you're going to get a better fight tonight. I think a more entertaining fight. You'll probably get a more skilled fight, but not more entertaining.
I think looking at the next one, what's coming up, I think possibly it could come close. But it depends how it's going to go and how it's what we're expecting, isn't it? But
sorry,
what you're expecting,
I have a question for you. You know that ring announcer,
Davies Jr.
Shark's Tale. Isn't there a character in Shark's Tale that looks like him?
The Jamaican jellyfish.
That's the one.
Yeah. I'll tell you.
That's not racist, by the way. He's not
so
Jamaican.
nice. He's so nice. He says it twice, isn't it?
It's just I associate TV characters, and I was like, he's that guy out of Shark's Tale
because of the dreads. Well, here we go. It's gone to the scorecards. I can tell you what the scorecards are. Bear with me.
Thank you.
It's all right.
He can say what other people have told him, I tell you.
94-94, first judge.
Ooh.
96-95, two other judges. Hang on.
Yes, that's the right result. Yeah. Fair play.
Gabriel
Venezuela too narrow for my liking.
Intercontinental super lightweight, and I have to say, well deserved.
And about time the British judges. You can see the British judges are being watched tonight, because while they did give it a bit closer than I would like.
To be fair, that was a lot closer than I thought.
But I do agree that
we gave it, that was a lot closer. Yeah, a draw, I don't agree with that.
No, it wasn't a draw. Davies Jr. deserves a lot of credit, so maybe they were doing that by giving it close, and I can understand that logic, but not a draw. It was never a draw. Never.
The right guy won there. That's
100%. But to score that a draw is just wrong.
Just to let you know, Rachel's asking, who won? It was Gabriel Venezuela, the Mexican.
And if you go to Mexico, will it get better?
Tough individual though, and brilliant fight. If you get the chance to watch the highlights another time, definitely watch the fight, because that was so far fight of the evening and possibly could be fight of the night. It's going to
fight
take
of the evening and could be fight of the night. What's the explain that logic there?
What's that?
You said it's fight of the evening and possibly fight of the night.
I said it's fight of the evening so far.
So far, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Possibly fight of the night.
I thought you meant it was fight of this show and possibly fight of the whole night, because we have some cracking fights coming up on Stateside at 4 a.m. if you're still awake. It's on Box Nation if you've got that channel. It's an all Mexican. We're talking about Barrera Morales style, and Joel's going to be very difficult because he keeps calling the Mexicans beating the Mexican. So I said, we're going to have a Mexican and a Mexican, but you can't pick that till the guy's knocked down. So imagine if he says the Mexican at the start and then he wins. Ooh, awkward.
Well, on that note, we're going to quickly fly out of this one, and then we're going to come back for Marcoux versus Charlton.
And hopefully I will have my Hatton Mayweather t-shirt on and not Eurovision. And
go and find it. And as I say, thanks for coming on, Ender. We'll see you in a bit. And
I got stay of execution. Woo!
And Marku versus Charlton up next. So stay tuned.
Come on,
and,
Rylan.
We'll see you soon. Thanks, Ender.
I'm not shouting for him because his name's Rylan.
So you've been watching JG's Fight Talk with Ender, sponsored by Rich's Boxing and Boxing Pin Badges.
Follow Boxing